What the heck is a SWOT and what do I do with it? Have you ever heard the term SWOT in business and you're thinking, what do you want me to do? You want to SWOT? Am I swatting a fly? Like, what is this SWOT stuff people talk about? Let me tell you about the SWOT analysis. So SWOT is actually an abbreviation for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'm going to go through an easy step-by-step for your business. I actually love doing this. I do it anywhere from 1 to 4 times a year, sometimes with my quarterly meetings with my staff. Sometimes we forget a quarter and we remind me that I have it. So let's go through a little bit about the SWOT. So strength, obviously that makes sense to you, like, oh, what's the strengths of my business? So for instance, for my chiropractic office, we just did this recently, and our strengths were how adaptable we've been and what a great team and togetherness we've been. So what are we doing well at? What sets us apart? In our office, we do a lot of extra therapies and we offer things that not other chiropractors offer. So that is our strength. Um, Opportunities, if we go downward to the O, so I guess I'm going out of order. Opportunities, like what are our goals? So we talked about what's the goals for our office per quarter, per year, that type of thing. What do we want to grow? Like for most chiropractic offices, small businesses, is to get more business, right? So our goals: get busier, make more money, add more team, get more patients, that type of thing. And what do we need to do to get that? Do we need to do more marketing? Do we need to find more ways to get and hire better employees, that type of thing? Like, what are the opportunities out there for us to achieve our ultimate goal? How can it be improved? So what do we need to do to improve on this? Do we need a better website? Do we need better marketing, better social media presence? Do we need better external events, internal events? Do we need an awesome business coach, kind of like myself? Just kidding. But what do we need to achieve these goals for the quarter, for the year, etc.? Let's go up to the weakness part now. Where do we need to improve? That's pretty obviously, right? Like, what's the weak point in the office, in your business? Is it your social media? Is it your staff? Is it your location? Is it your direction? Like, are you the weakness? Are you the weakest link? Think about that. Remember the show, like, You Are the Weakest Link? You could do this on your own before you do this with your team, and your team calls you out as the weakest link, but no, they wouldn't. But so what are the weaknesses? What does your team struggle with? Are they like, do you even know what they struggle with? I found this very eye-opening last year when my team told me about something they struggled with and I just didn't know because it wasn't a struggle for me or I didn't see the issue. And sometimes it's something like really simple, like they struggle with getting the Alexas to play the music all together at the same time. And it takes them so much time in the morning to get X, Y, and Z set up. Okay, great. If that is something that affects the office, it affects our patients, then yes, that's a weakness and we need to, put that on our to-do list, right? What's the priority? What do we need to fix first and the most? And then what do others see the weakness as? You could also, like if you're a clinic, you could poll your patients. You can ask your neighboring businesses or people in your field, like what maybe they perceive your weakness as. You can look at your reviews and see what people put on your reviews as your strengths and your weaknesses, that type of thing. I love it when we have like honest patients. It's usually people that I've known for a while and they're also business owners. And I say, hey, between you and I, can you give me some honest feedback about these 3 things? People love to give their opinions on things, especially if it's another business owner or someone that you really trust to be like brutally honest with you. That would be someone great to ask, and ask a few because again, they're just an opinion, but maybe you'd be surprised what weaknesses are or your team perceives as your weaknesses. Shooting down to threats. What impacts your business? What are the blocks that you're facing? I know like in 20 and 21, like the threat was literally a virus. It really shut down a lot of us and that really prevented a lot of us grow and to flourish, right? That was outside of our control. So it was still a threat. It was just outside of our control. And then the weaknesses that we listed above, like how are they impacting our threats? So for instance, let me pick out a weakness that we had. Let's see. Oh, training was a weakness that we put down for ours for this quarter. So does the training, how's that lack of training maybe, how's that a threat on the office? For one way, lack of training, especially for our front desk staff, could affect how the patient flow is and how their experience is. And if I have a staff up front that is not trained well in a checkout or a check-in or a new patient procedure, that really affects like their whole experience. And that's the last thing I'd want it to affect, because my staff is a representation of me, and I try to give them like 100%, and the staff can only do so much if they're not fully trained. So SWOT analysis will really like deep dive into your office. Let's say you're an office of one, which a lot of people are, and that's great. You could still do this SWOT analysis. I think that you might need to ask some people close to you about like weaknesses and strengths. Strengths can be found easily in your testimonials because you can pick out all those keys that people think are your strengths. The weaknesses might be something you have to ask on, but the opportunities, like look around at other businesses too. What's shifting, what's new in the area, how can you improve your own, even if it's a different type of business, but it's still a service type of industry, still look to them. For instance, the chiropractors don't always compare themselves to other chiropractors. We also look at physical therapists, dentists, orthodontists, look at other service type professionals and businesses, because your competitors are still similar. Threats, again, what's blocking you and stopping you? And literally a threat could be you. Like, just to be bluntly, like you could be holding yourself back. It's a new year, it's a new quarter, whatever it is. Like, start it off right, lay this out, be brutally honest with yourself and change some things, because the main thing is that you have your business running up to how you want it. And I'm going to show you the other slide that I have. This is how I write mine down. Have them in little blocks. I usually try to do at least 3 in the strengths, 3 in the weaknesses, 3 in the opportunities, and 3 in the threats. You could be an overachiever and you could do 5. That would be awesome. But if you would like this printout, let me know. I'd be happy to email it to you. I have it in a PDF, but I could change it to any format you need it. And like I said, I like to do this quarterly, yearly if I'm like really slacking. If I'm really weak in my training abilities with my staff, maybe we don't do this enough, which is why we're going to be training. So we all have issues. We all have strengths. There's a lot of opportunity out there. If you can't see it, talk to me. I'll help you coach through how to find these opportunities, make these weaknesses better, stay away from these threats, and get some more strengths on your side. Thanks for watching.